Hey, boys and girls, it's Ron Bass with another edition of Soar High Personal Development, your source for inspiration.
Or is it Ron's Mixed Bag?
Ron's Mixed Bag. What are we a source for? Inspiration?
Inspiration, encouragement. That was crazy.
Motivation.
Inspiration. Oh, wait, that's the first one. Motivation, rants, pop culture,
Craziness, Jim.
fun stuff.
What did my friend used to say? The whole world's crazy, and I'm crazy too.
Yep.
But you know what? I was telling you a while ago. The whole thing is a journey, man. Life's a journey. You can't dwell on negatives. You just have to keep moving. There's no real destination in life. Not really. If you look at life, it's just like a journey, man. And just enjoy the ride. I used to tell my friends all the time, it's like getting on a bus, going down the road. You pull off and you have lunch and you get back on the bus. You go down the road and it's all scenic along the way. You get to watch the landscape and the sun and the moon and all the sunsets and summer. And it's like, that's the way life is, man. It's like a journey. It's like, and then, you have these success stories and you have these failures and you just keep moving. And you have this, along the way, you get to stop, you get to rest, you get to eat, but really, if you think about it, there is no finale. The only finale is death, really. And I'm not being negative. It's just, if you look at life that way, you'll have a lot more fun and you'll enjoy the ride.
Think about those successes and sometimes failures as stops in that bus.
Good point.
The hours in between the stops are the days or months or weeks or however long it takes you to get to where you're going, your goal for that year or 2 years or whatever your goal is. You just gotta, everything has a scale to it, smaller, bigger scale.
Yes.
So many different ways to look at it.
Well, you've become so philosophical.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
Compared to 2 years ago and 3 or 4 years ago when I met you, what a difference.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
So
there's been a lot that's happened.
A lot has happened.
Yes, a lot. Man.
By the way, you're Mr. Davin here. He's our producer at Soar High Records.
That's me. Hello. Soar High Records.
Executive producer now.
Executive producer.
Now we have a lot more going on than we used to, so you're overseeing a lot of different things.
I wear a lot of hats.
You wear a lot of hats.
Not only producer, just an executive in general.
Of course.
In general. So.
And a producer, and a songwriter, and a beat maker, and a
right-hand man to Ron.
Oh.
Lots of different things.
At any rate, tonight we're going to talk about a lot of different stuff, but we'll talk about how to prioritize your time and how to prioritize your attention. We've done some of this before. We talk about time management, but I don't think people prioritize their time enough. I had a friend come by my dojo the other night, and somebody used to work for me like 25 years ago. And she, unfortunately, has kind of gone off the deep end and has drug addiction now. But she's bright, she's intelligent. We had a great conversation. I think I have high hopes for her, like I do with anybody that I meet and get to know and try to mentor and hope that they'll improve their lives. But at any rate, she's talking about, I don't have time to go to the gym. I said, come on, man. You've got plenty of time. You just have to prioritize your time.
Right.
And you have to, make use of your time in a way that's positive and not waste time.
Right.
There's 24 hours in a day, man. There's plenty of time to do all the things that you need to do that will benefit yourself and the people that you love and care about. So, focusing on yourself, I think, is so important. I think people need to prioritize that time and attention because your health is everything. I mean, what good's the money? What good's the fame and the glory if you're not healthy? How many people do we know that have become very successful, but their health is terrible?
Plenty.
It's all around us.
Plenty.
You can read about it every day, but what about just in our own lives that we know people?
Exactly.
Young and old.
Mm-hmm.
I can think of somebody right now that's really young that's struggling with all kinds of demons. What good is their life if they have to get up every day and be addicted to a substance?
Right, exactly.
And you're a slave to that substance.
Yeah, and that's the worst part.
It's horrible.
You can't control it, and there's just so much that goes into it. So much goes.
Not counting what it does to your brain and your body.
Makes your chemicals unbalanced and unbalanced chemicals.
It's already bad enough that we're born with a chemical imbalance.
I know, right?
Like ADHD,
Yep.
which I looked it up and I studied it more. Attention deficit hyperactive disorder. I used to say hyper disorder. It's hyperactive disorder. Yeah, or ADD, attention deficit disorder, or bipolar, or depression. I've got some notes in here later to talk about people that talk all the time. I mean, we talk all the time too, but I'm talking about people that can't shut up and don't listen. Like my friend the other night, she just went on and on and on and on and on, and I had to interject myself to get anything through.
Right.
And she said, is there something wrong with me? I said, yeah, there's something wrong with you. She said, well, F you. And I said, come on, man, you want me to tell you what you want to hear, or you want me to tell you the truth?
Right.
She said, no, I want you to tell me the truth.
Exactly.
So we got into those discussions. And that's the way I am, man. I'm going to tell it like it is. I'm not going to pull any punches.
No.
That doesn't help anybody.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Like, no, it does not. We had a conversation about that last night at the studio. It was the grown man talk. It was all of us older people at the studio, and we were
older
talking.
People. Oh, you're so old.
Well, older than the younger people that are in our group.
I get you.
You know, the 25 and up club, pretty much.
Okay. Versus the 16 or 18 or 19 club.
Right, the 20-year-old club, which are all 21 now, so they were in the group.
Yeah.
The grown man conversation. Either way, it was just like we were being honest with each other. You know, there was, you know, when there is things on your chest, they're not good or bad or anything like that, but you need to tell your friends about it. Yeah, you need to get them off your chest. And that's what we did last night. So
that was cool.
It was good. Yeah, it was good. Yes, very therapeutic, much needed for everybody. So just kind of adding on to that point right there.
Gotcha. So focusing on yourself, a lot of people are going to say, well, that's selfish. No, it is not selfish. It's if you're not together, if you're not organized, if you're not sober and focused and exercising leadership qualities, then nobody's going to benefit from you at all.
Exactly.
You have to spend time working on yourself every day, your physical and mental being.
Right.
And so that you can become a better person and you can influence others in a positive way.
I agree. Wholeheartedly.
It's like everything. And you've become that guy since I've known you the last 4 or 5 years. What a difference.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I'm excited to see that, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here.
Me too. There's a lot going on always
in our lives, in our entertainment business, and in all the things that we're doing right now.
We just take it day by day, though.
We have to take it day by day, but at the same time, you can dream, to the heavens.
Exactly. We can go as far as we want to.
So what's the saying about if you set a goal to get to the top of the house, you don't get off the ground, but you set a goal to get to the moon.
And you get to the top of the house.
So that's why I think I've always set these lofty goals.
Oh yeah.
Because if you don't, you don't get anything done.
Exactly.
And you get discouraged so quick you give up.
It's funny, we were talking about that with Jess and Cody, one of my producers and our right-hand girl.
Right-hand girl.
And it was, we want to dream big about this new studio that we have, because if we don't, then we're not going to, we won't even reach to halfway what we want. Exactly. So we just have to go really lofty, like you said. And if we get there, great. If we get somewhere close to there, that's good too. We hope to overshoot it. We want to overshoot, punch through.
I think some people think that maybe we are, kind of crazy that because we're so ambitious. But I've always been ambitious. You've always been ambitious. Yeah. I think we're just born with that trait. And I was influenced by my parents because they were very ambitious, and a lot of my friends when I was growing up, and professional people, business people, you become who you surround yourself with. It's really important who you hang out with. And a lot of my friends that I used to have friends with, they're mad at me because I don't hang out with them anymore, but they were going nowhere, and they were drunk every night and no ambition, and I can't do that. Yeah, no. That's not me.
No. Could never be me.
And I wanted to get into health and fitness, and I did that. And all my other friends are like arguing that, oh, well, you're too good for us now. You don't want to go out this anymore. No, it's not that at all. It's just I have a schedule.
Exactly.
And if you were really my friend, you would support me.
Right.
And I don't say that to say oh, woe is me, because I've grown out of all that. I'm what's the old saying? Water off a duck's back. It's like, who cares?
Who does care? Who cares? We have bigger, better things to go on.
And if we don't focus on ourselves, we're never going to become the people that we know that we can, and the people that we know that we want to become.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I agree.
Somebody said to me the other day, well, Ron, life's so short. Why not just have a good time and don't worry? But you worry yourself. I'm not worrying about anything. I'm just working every day.
Yeah. I do what I love every day.
I do what I love every day.
Exactly.
How are you going to beat that?
It's not a worry. It's just that what I love comes with situations, if that makes sense, Well,
you're always going to have challenges.
Yeah, challenges.
No matter where you're at, no matter who you are, you're always going to have to deal with struggles.
Yes.
And that's just life. But that's cool, because the more you struggle, the more you overcome, the stronger you become.
Mm-hmm. Mentally, physically, emotionally, everything.
It's crazy, isn't it? But you know what? I look at my life and how I've gone through these different situations and overcome them, and it's like I've just learned to be very more determined than ever to accomplish what my goals are. Mm-hmm. And it's fun because a lot of my goals help a lot of people around me to help them reach their goals. So it's kind of a cool thing.
Right.
I don't know if we really talked that much about that, but so speaking of overcoming, I've got some notes here about overcoming fears. We often talk about that. Mm-hmm. You have to face your fears to be able to overcome them.
I agree.
And what do most people do?
Run away.
Put their head in the sand, don't want to face what's uncomfortable. You know, I've just learned, I know I keep saying I've just learned, but I've learned the hard way. You have to hit everything head on.
You do.
You cannot hide from the truth, that you can't hide from what's uncomfortable. I don't care what it is. You have to deal with shit right now. And you know what? You'll find out that it's not as bad as you thought it was. In your head, you're like, oh my God, my world's coming to an end. No, it's not. I see people on TikTok all the time that their world is coming to an end, like people that are terminally ill, and I'm thinking, I don't have any problems.
Exactly.
I'm healthy. I'm ambitious. Look at some of these people that are like, they got 2 months to live, 30 days to live. They're on a hospice.
Yeah.
And I guess TikTok's become kind of a therapeutical place now for people to go on there and talk, and that's really cool. I'm glad that's happening.
Right.
Because these people otherwise might just suffer all the way to the end and not have any outlet at all for their pain.
Exactly, and they want to maybe they have a message. It's the same with music. Maybe they have a message that they want to get out to one person. To help one person is as if to help.
I saw something the other day. That's a great saying. To help one person is as if to help the whole world. To save one person's life is as if to have saved the whole world. And I saw an article the other day where they were talking kind of like that. It wasn't exactly those words, but it was the same meaning.
Right.
And I thought to myself, that's so cool.
I agree.
How are we doing on time?
We're at 13 minutes, so we're almost to the halfway point.
That's crazy. So my notes are jumping up in my face. It's like, quit making excuses. Don't use time as a reason for not accomplishing. Don't say you're too busy. That's baloney. Yeah, we're busy at times, but none of us are busy 16 hours a day. So there's always moments there's always time in between. Right.
I don't have the time right now. I can make the time later.
Right. Sometimes my phone's going and going and going and going.
Right.
But if there's a period for 30 minutes or an hour that it's quiet, that's when I can work out. That's when I can write notes. That's when I can read a book. That's when I can, think things through, get organized, whatever.
So like today. So okay, woke up at, my schedule sounds weird, FYI, but I woke up at 3:00, 3:30. Had the text saying we got a meeting at 6 with Jess.
Yeah.
And then I also need to I need to release some songs tonight.
I want to talk about an album that you released, by the way. I want to talk about that, but go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to release some songs tonight. I knew I had the podcast. We have 2 podcasts tonight. I have a busy day.
Yes.
So I got up, I got ready, made, I didn't have time to make enough food to eat. I didn't have time to make food and eat all in one. So I was like, let me make, I made a coffee with protein in it, a protein shake, and just a water to flavor water. Okay. And I went to the studio. I came here. No, I don't remember where I went somewhere first. I came here first. Yeah, came here first. Did something. Then I went back to the studio, mixed a song, came back to the other studio, which is on this side of town, had a meeting, went back, went and got my laptop. It's all about, like you said, how you manage it. You're
very active, and I think what we have to learn to do is to just be very efficient with our time.
Yes.
We have to stay calm and collected. If we're too excited, we tend to get kind of stressed out. In other words, we have to just steady as we go.
Yes.
Steady as we go. Now, there's times where it gets crazy.
Yeah.
I got an appointment. I got to go. The phone's ringing. Somebody. I got to go. I get those times, but those times aren't all the time.
It's not every day. Right.
No, and it's not every hour of every day.
Right. It's not every day.
But there are moments where we have to feeling oh crap, man, this is a struggle right now. I've got to go. Sorry, I got to go.
Even if it's 4 or 5 hours, at a time. Sometimes there's busy hours. Sometimes there's relaxed hours. But you wanted to talk about an album. We're at we're at the halfway point now. We're at 15 minutes.
One more thing I want to talk about is a couple more things. Don't be so hard on yourself. You were very bad about that.
Yep.
People that are perfectionists tend to be that way because they don't want to fail.
Right.
But you're going to have to accept the idea that failure is part of life.
Failure is part of life.
Quit beating yourself up and pat yourself on the back. Very important, guys. Be willing to fail. It's not the end of the friggin' world. You're going to pick yourself back up and go on again, and you're going to, that's just for every up there's a down, every down there's an up. So just don't worry about it. All right.
Exactly. I agree.
Okay, now, the music. So today I uploaded, or I went on Spotify and listened to one of your latest albums. I guess your latest album that you produced,
yes.
King Baby, and his real name is Devion. He's from Memphis, Tennessee.
Yes.
In fact, he was in our last podcast, The Ron Bass Show.
Yes.
And man, that album was good. I listened to like 3 or 4 songs. I was so impressed. The producing, the way you produced it, the music, the beat, the wording, it was just super cool. I'll tell you what, man, you got a tiger by the tail with your label, with your Soar High Records. That's crazy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I don't care if anybody listens to it. I'm telling you what, that's good stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Check it out on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. It's King Baby Street Sweepin'.
Streets with an IN, not an ING, by the way.
Yes, an IN with the apostrophe. Yep.
Street sweepin'.
Streets.
Street sweepin'.
Yep. Street sweepin'.
SWEEPIN.
Yep. Street sweepin'.
Apostrophe?
There is an apostrophe at the end.
Yeah.
That's that grammatical
I went right to it on
correctness.
Spotify.
You know, it's crazy. There's a secret message hidden in the title.
Oh my God! This sounds like the Beatles thing way back in the day, the Paul McCartney thing. That's a whole other.
So it's
the secret way they were walking. He was walking different than everybody else in Abbey Lane. But go ahead.
So Street Sweepin' is the name.
Yeah.
But if you take the S and if you change where the space is in the wording, it's Streets Weepin'. Like
Streets Weepin'.
Yeah, like because the album has kind of a sad, melancholy kind of feel to it in certain songs.
He was talking about he talked about his life and where he came from and where he's going, and it's always life's just full of ups and downs.
Right.
And it's cool to share it in a poetic sort of way.
I agree.
In a way that people can relate to and enjoy, and that's music, man. Music's the medicine.
Music is the medicine. That's for our next podcast.
Okay, so
our broadcast, the Ron Bass Show.
Rants and we'll get out of here.
The Ron Bass Show.
Yeah, a couple of Ron's rants and we'll get out of here.
All right, I'm ready.
So I always talk about banking because it's just crazy to me. So sometimes I overspend a little bit and I get low in bank accounts, and before I can bounce back, I find myself in the overdraft scenario. Mm-hmm. Well, these banks, if I make a deposit, in my mind it's in the bank, but in their mind it's not considered to be available funds yet, so they charge overdraft fees. Unlike a $2, like an ATM fee is $2, and they'll charge me $17.50 for that $2. It's so petty.
I know.
It's so greedy. And I'm not saying, I'm talking about most banks. I've got like 2 banks right now, and both of them are doing this. So it's like when you're down, what happens? You get kicked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying to myself, I would never do that if I were running the bank.
Never. I
would extend courtesy to people. But that's greedy.
I've had a $35 overdraft fee on a $7 purchase.
You get it.
So I understand.
It's stupid.
I understand completely.
It's stupid.
I agree.
That's just the way it is.
The worst part was that there was a check sitting there and pending, just like you were saying.
Same thing, but they don't consider that to be funds. But to us, it's funds.
Right. They're coming in. The check shouldn't bounce. So
that's so silly. Oh, well, whatever. Okay, back to people talking excessively.
Okay.
So I have 2 people in the last, say, few days that I know that are doing that. I mean, they talk. They never quit talking. So I looked it up. There's a term for it. It's spelled SCHIZOTYPAL. I have no idea how you pronounce it. Shizit Ipal. Personality disorder. SCHIZOTYPAL. And it's also it's also reflective of anxiety, people that have to talk all the time.
So, hold on.
Compulsive talking.
What was after that?
Just look it up. SCHIZ.
Yeah, that's what
OTYPAL.
Oh, okay.
You see it?
So it's schizotypal. That's what it would be.
Yeah, typal.
Schizo.
And I think it's to take off of
Personality
schizophrenia, like schizo.
STPD.
It's a takeoff, yeah.
Yeah, schizo probably means like something has to do with.
Yeah.
I can't remember because I learned it in college.
Schizophrenia, but schizo.
It has. Yeah, schizo is like it's like it's like monotone, monograph meaning singular.
Okay.
Schizo means like
Erratic,
something.
not right, not normal, not stable, whatever. Something.
A mental health condition marked by a consistent pattern of intense discomfort with close relationships and social interactions. People with STPD have distorted views of reality, superstitions, and unusual behaviors. Their relationships are usually hindered by their symptoms.
Mm-hmm. Now, just a normal, person can pick up on the idea when somebody won't quit talking that you would think to yourself, something's wrong. But now I'm getting into more of the analysis. There's some people say some analysis say or analysts say that it's a reflection of bipolar. Some people say it's compulsive talking, which is the schizotypal disorder. Right. And so it's basically it all comes down to talking excessively. So it's definitely a disorder.
It is on the schizophrenia. Like there's a scale, and it's like you're healthy, and then there's this, and then schizophrenia is on the other side of the scale. It falls within that. Yes. From what I can tell.
Okay, moving on. Because we're out of time. Weight loss pills are coming versus the needle. Right now, you have to get a shot. That's the OZE, whatever P something. Weight loss drug that's drawing all kinds of fame and attention, and so now this is going to be in the pill form.
The pill form.
So another example of how people want to look for a shortcut. You take the pill.
Take the pill.
Which is really sad to me to look for the shortcut. You should have the discipline to not overeat and to exercise. And look, I don't care if somebody's like overweight as long as they're not like crazy overweight. Because that just is unhealthy. It's just not healthy. You don't have to have a six pack.
No.
But I mean, you don't need to be 100 pounds overweight.
No. Because
it's not healthy.
And you don't
10 or 20 pounds overweight. I mean, 15 or 25% body fat. Really, what do they call it? BMI?
Yeah, BMI.
I mean, that's fine. But I mean, to be like obese is it's just not healthy.
Well, and I agree 100%. But also to be too underweight isn't healthy either.
I agree with that.
You need to be in the middle.
I have a friend that can't gain weight. He does jiu-jitsu with me, and he great guy, but he's fit. He just can never gain any more weight. He's real thin. He's like tall and slender. And at any rate, so what do we got time wise? We're about out.
We're at 23 minutes.
Okay.
I think.
So I want to talk about one more thing and we'll get out of here because I got a lot of stuff tonight. So the next podcast we'll do some more stuff. So here's the deal. Dopamine. That's where the word I didn't realize dope comes from.
Yep, because that's what it releases.
Right. So when dopamine is released in the brain, what happens, Evan?
You want everything that just happened to happen again. You are very happy.
Okay, so that's like the happy feel good chemical.
One of them.
Happy feel good chemical.
Yes,
okay.
one of them. The other one is serotonin, and it usually is released around the same time.
Okay, so somebody did some research on the different levels of dopamine. And I thought this was really fascinating. They said that, and this is on like a scale. So they said that food is at 100, like a food pleasure. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was really good. Makes you feel good. Makes you feel good, right?
The another thing that dopamine is, it want it again. I want it again. I want it again.
Right. Well, that's the pleasure. That's the idea.
Exactly.
I want to feel good again.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So food is 100. Sex is at 200.
Okay.
Cocaine, I thought this is at 400.
Interesting.
Yeah. It gets more interesting. Heroin is 800.
And what is the scale? What's the scale? What are we?
At the top of the heap is meth at 1,500. Wow. It's so far above every other dopamine release.
Oh, really? Okay.
And that's why I guess people get so hooked on it and have such a hard time defeating it. I didn't know it was that high. I figured maybe heroin would be at the top of the heap. Or Coke, but no. Coke's way down at the bottom by comparison. I didn't know that.
So
that's crazy, huh?
Yeah, that's like.
So that means meth is 15 times as enjoyable as eating a good meal.
in your brain.
In your brain. Well, that's who we are, is our brain.
Right, but it's like, it doesn't do healthy things to your body, but your brain says, I want it.
Yes.
So it's like, crazy, it's weird. It's the same with alcohol. It's not as much
I didn't even have alcohol on there. I don't know.
It's not as much of a dopamine release as most of those things, but it's like, hey, I like this. It feels good. Yes. I want to feel this way more.
Smoking pot. I didn't even find out about that, but it's got to be in there somewhere.
It is. Yeah. Everything. And so another thing is, think about it. Music releases dopamine.
Yeah.
It releases dopamine throughout your day, dependent on the song that you're listening to. I did a whole research thing about it. Doing like a podcast.
That's why people love music.
Yeah, exactly. Doing things that you love can release little amounts of dopamine that you want to keep doing. And
that's why I love live events, because man, it's just so, the dopamine. You're so excited. It's like you feel so good.
You know what else releases dopamine and serotonin?
What? The phone?
Sadly. So like, think about it.
That's why we use them so much.
On TikTok, you've got these 20-second videos of music, cats, animals, great things. You know, there's the opposite side of the spectrum as well, but there are great things, and you're like, oh, I love this, I love this, I love this. So that's why you keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
Because that's the way it is, huh?
Yeah.
All right, my friend, I guess we better get out of here.
All right.
Final thoughts?
Go stream King Baby Street Sweeping everywhere that you can get it. That's my final thought. And don't give up, ever.
Ever give up. Don't ever give up. And go to soarhighrecords.com.
Yes. Soar High.
SoarHighEntertainment.com.
SoarHighRecords.entertainment.com, wasn't it?
SoarHighEntertainment.com.
Okay, yeah. Soar High Entertainment.
Our YouTube channel is Soar High Records.
Yes.
And then Soar High Personal Development is our YouTube channel for this and our other podcasts, which we're doing next. The Ron Bass Show, where we're going to be having artists on with us, and maybe we are, and introducing new music that we produce.
So introducing new music for sure. Always.
So until next time, just remember, if you don't give up, the stars, they're going to line up. So stay positive.